Yeah. Try it right now.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, call me right back and I'll put you through manually.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Please enter your password. Please enter your password. If you would like men's basketball, welcome William Carey. Press any key to begin the broadcast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
William Carey University Crusader Basketball is on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com. SuperTalkHattiesburg.com. Now let's go courtside for tonight's matchup.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the campus of William Carey University, where another critical SSAC game is about to take place as the William Carey Crusader men take on the always difficult Dalton State Roadrunners out of Georgia. David Sutton here to bring you today's play-by-play action on the Warren & Warren Asphalt pregame show. William Carey comes in atop the standings at 8-1 in SSAC play, while Dalton State suffered a tough luck defeat down at Loyola. Hard-fought 73-72 final score, but they came up on the wrong end of the final score down in New Orleans on Thursday. So they come in fourth place at 5-4 in conference play, and obviously wanting to not have a weekend sweep of conference play by losing both to Loyola and William Carey. Every time these two teams get together, it seems to be a close nail-biter. We've had triple overtime games here at the Clinton Gymnasium just 2 seasons ago, overtime games last year, and today expecting another tight one. We'll take a 60-second timeout and hear from our sponsor of the pregame show here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com, Larry Warren. And when we come back, I'll play my pregame sit-down interview with Coach Steve Knight and give you the starting lineups. And we'll have some basketball for you here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com in about 10 minutes, getting close to basketball between Dalton State and William Carey.
My name's Larry Warren, Warren & Warren Asphalt Paving.
Larry, we've seen new asphalt companies coming into the area. What's the difference between them and what Warren & Warren offers?
Well, first of all, Warren & Warren will be here with you now and after the job is done. These other people, you don't know where their home office is. They're from out of town. Do they have a tax ID number? Do they pay taxes in the state of Mississippi? That's the biggest problem. Do they have anything with the Better Business Bureau? You look into it a little further, you may find out that they're not even listed with the Better Business Bureau. Everybody is different. If a person beats us on a bid, most of the time it's because you're not comparing apples to apples. They're not doing the exact same thing that we're doing, and we stand behind our work, and we're going to be here. And we do all kinds of work, anything from a patch job to $1 million job. It doesn't make any difference. People can call me at any time. They can call my telephone number, 601-270-4637, or my office number, 601-736-1203. We still do not do highway work, and never will.
Back at the Clinton Gymnasium, about ready for basketball between Dalton State and William Carey. The Roadrunners are out taking their final pregame warm-ups while the Steve Knight's William Carey Crusaders are back in the locker room getting their last instructions before this key showdown here in the SSAC. I sat down with Coach Steve Knight literally about 15 minutes ago, so right before tip-off, and got his thoughts on not only this ball game, but the difficulties he's faced by losing not one, but his top 2 leading scorers. Anthony Jones earlier in the season, now Lito Holloway to the hand injury last Thursday at Blue Mountain. It's Brandon Cranford off the bench who leads the Crusaders in scoring, but how many times can you keep losing your leading scorer and keep winning ball games? Coach Knight, right before tip-off of today's big conference game against Dalton State. Coach, before we get to today's game, you get the win on Thursday night, but I printed the stats a little while ago, and I look at the leading scorers, and The top one, Anthony Jones, no longer available. Now Lito Holloway with an injury, no longer available. It's one thing to say next man up, but you guys have been, the top guys scoring are not available anymore. How tough is that for this team to kind of keep adjusting to losing very, very important players?
Well, it's tough in the fact that we've put some things in for those players in particular, and now they're gone. So we're going to have to tweak and make some adjustments on the offensive end to get some different type of offense that is better suited for those who are playing. So unfortunately, 3 games this week, we haven't been able to do much in that respect, but we'll work on it after the Monday game with Loyola and see if there's not a few things that we can do to make it a little bit easier for these guys and their particular skill set. We like to spread it a lot when Lito was in the lineup because he was so good with dribble penetration. And the rest of the guys, other than Adrian, they're not great at it. So we'll change a few things. It's still not even February, so we're always tinkering with our offense. But defensively, we have to remain, stout. Defense is what is going to carry us, I think. We have to score points off our defense and get into transition and get easy baskets. And, we're still trying to fit Jartavius Dobbs in there. And, he's still playing. I called a play the other day, and he had no idea what it was. So it's just going to take repetition for him. He had gone over it, but in a game it's a little different to try to think about where am I supposed to go. So we've had to simplify some things with him in the game, but we've also put in a couple of things. 1-2-2 zone, worked on 2-3, 1-3-1 with him in there because of his length. You put he and Brandon in there together, we're pretty long around the basket. So the one thing about Lito that we will miss is, you've seen it throughout the year. He makes clutch shots. I mean, he really does. He can go 2 for 12 in a game, and then when you need a bucket, he makes it. He's kind of got that it factor in regard to that. So somebody else will have to do it. Brandon Cranford did it the other day, and Brandon, because Lito was out, Brandon played a lot of minutes, and we're trying to get Ryan McRaney going. He hasn't shot the ball well since Christmas. We worked with him after practice again yesterday and tinkered with his shot a little bit, and he has shot it really well since then. So hopefully he'll make some shots and get his confidence, and then we'll have a couple of guys who are supposed to be shooters that are shooting a good percentage.
Well, it's interesting you say Brandon Cranford. He actually now is leading the team in scoring, believe it or not, and he's coming off the bench, so a big lift for sure. Dalton State, that's all I got to say. I mean, we've had triple overtime games here 2 years ago, overtime games here. When you two guys hook up, it's always a barn burner. What does this year's edition of the Roadrunners have?
Well, new coach, and took them a while to get it going, but their non-conference schedule was strong, and right before Christmas, they had a couple of big wins over Life. So they've stepped back into conference play and lost at Loyola by 1 point Thursday. So they're 5-4 in the league, which is, I think, 4th place, tied for 4th. And they're just solid, really athletic, really strong, physical team. Their leading scorer is Elijah Staley, who was out of high school, signed as a quarterback at Mississippi State, and also played basketball. He's 6'7", 240. He's a specimen. So then he transferred to Morgan State. He's done with his football now, and he's got this 1 year of basketball. So he's a force, and they've got 2 more wide body guys. Sean Chisholm is one of them, who was averaging 17 points a game last year about this time, and he went down with a knee injury, and he's back. Australian point guard, really crafty, leads the league in assists, shoots over 40% from 3, and then a couple more wing players that are athletic, and they're just good. They've been good ever since they came in the league, and they're still good. So it'll take a a well-played game to be able to defeat them. I think that, Martin Methodist and Dalton are a lot alike, I think, from a talent standpoint, other than Martin's inside guys are more leapers and really play above the rim, and Dalton's, they can jump, but they're more physical basketball team. And so I know they're going to try to punch it inside on us and try to get us in foul trouble. And I think we'll start off pressing. Again, this game, it was really effective for us the other day. I think we may have an advantage in overall depth and quickness at the guard position. So we'll see if we can get them to turn it over. And hopefully, our goal is 10 to 13 turnovers ourselves this game. We need to get back down there. We were really, really playing well and efficient when we were doing that. And for some reason, it's jumped back up in the last 6 games since Christmas. So something that is a concern, and a lot of them are unforced. So hopefully we can get that out of our system. And we've got to be able to rebound the ball with them and shoot a decent percentage. We're at home. We should shoot a good percentage at home.
Last question. Maybe I always have to watch how this goes, because the standings are something that we look at in the media and the fans look at, but you guys are 8-1 atop the conference, but there's no room to rest because Stillman just keeps knocking off wins right behind you. Can that be a good thing? Because you can't have an off night, because if you do, you're back tied again possibly.
Yeah, I think we don't look at it a whole lot. Guys certainly know where we are, but we're not putting any extra pressure on ourselves to, we've got to win every game. But the guys do understand this little stretch right here is just really, really important, with 4 out of 5 conference games at home before we go on the road. So we don't need to stumble. If we do, we're still in good shape, but we need to take care of our business at home and see what happens on the road.
Well, the second game of 3 in a 4-day stretch, Coach. We know you'd love to get number 2. We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
It's Coach Steve Knight. National anthem underway here at the Clinton Gymnasium. We'll take a final 60-second timeout in the pregame show here on the Warren & Warren Asphalt pregame show. Have the starting lineups and the opening tip here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com in just a moment.
My name is Larry Warren, Warren & Warren Asphalt Paving, Tylertown, and now Foxworth, Mississippi. We are in the asphalt business. We do all types of jobs: patching, overlays, parking lots, subdivisions. We also do seal coating. Also, too, we do not do highway work. If you need any help, give me a call. My name again is Larry Warren with Warren & Warren Asphalt Paving. My telephone number is 601-270-4637. My office number is 601-736-1203. Again, my office number is 601-736-1203. Call Monday through Friday. You can call me anytime. And my cell phone number is 601-270-4637. It's Larry Warren with Warren & Warren Asphalt Paving, Tylertown, Foxworth.
Back at the Clinton Gymnasium, starting lineup's about to be announced for the home folks here at the Clinton Gymnasium, and we'll do the same here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com. For Dalton State, they come in with an overall record of 10-7, conference record of 5-4 after taking the hard luck loss by 1 just a couple of days ago at Loyola. At point guard, he's the leading assist man in the conference. It's Sean Carey, the junior 6'2" guard out of Australia. It's Wollongong, Australia, to be exact. He's averaging also 12.9 points a game, along with that league-leading assist total. His 2 guard is Malik Pugh, a 6'1" senior guard out of Dyersburg, Tennessee. Sean Chisholm, Coach Knight talked about him in that pregame interview. The returner averaging 17 points a game last year for Dalton before getting hurt this year, averaging 10.6 and 7 boards. He's a senior, 6'4" out of McFarland, Wisconsin. The 4 position is manned by Aaron Burris, a 6'5" sophomore forward out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And in the middle, it's Raheem England, 6'6" senior out of Atlanta, Georgia. For William Carey, it's Dalen Dotson getting the start again at the point guard position. at the number 2 spot, trying to get him going. Again, another thing you heard in that pregame interview with Coach Knight, that's Ryan McCraney, the sophomore out of Summerall, Mississippi. One of the 2 anchor seniors, Adrian Williams. Adrian, the all-everything guard for this William Carey Crusader team. He's in the top 3 in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He does it all, and he plays one heck of a mean defense to go on top of it. He'll play the 3 position. Cam Douglas plays the 4, and in the middle, the other anchor senior, it's Brandon Shepard. Shep averaging a double-double on the season with 11 points and 10 rebounds. The Crusaders dressed in their home whites as usual, top to bottom, although they don't have the stripe down the side, a little bit of a different uniform, it looks like, with the black numerals trimmed in William Carey red. Dalton State, the Roadrunners, blue tops, blue bottoms with some white trim on the shorts, blue numerals on those blue tops, but it's trimmed in white so you can see what number each player is. Getting ready to get things going, and Brandon Shepard, as he's done so many times this season, wins the opening tap, and we are underway here from the Clinton Gymnasium. The Crusaders moving right to left on your computer screen, tablet or smart device. Glad you're with us. However you are consuming William Carey basketball here on this Saturday afternoon. Dalton State against William Carey, big SSAC matchup. Crusaders trying to stay atop the conference. First shot on the way, a 15-foot hanging jumper by Adrian Williams would not go. It was half in, but hopped out, and now Dalton State has their first offensive possession of the basketball game. And the leading assist man, Craney, guarded by Dalen Dotson. Dotson going to have a tough assignment guarding him, whoever's on him, to try to get him out of his game to not initiate this Roadrunner offense. Of course, that Crusader defense has been the catalyst, and there it is. On cue, the Crusader defense has just absolutely been the front runner of why this team has been successful this year. Brandon Shepard and Ryan McCraney collapsing on Sean Chisholm, and Chisholm took steps, and it's a turnover created by William Carey. So nearly a minute into the ball game, still no score. Both teams looking for their first bucket of the game, but of course each team's only had one possession this game so far. At right wing, McCraney. McCraney looking, and now he'll shoot it. He was looking for the shot. He makes the shot. Well, there's a little bit more confidence out of Ryan McCraney. 18-foot jumper goes down. Crusaders up 2-0. They tried to press, but breaking it easily was the Roadrunners, and he thought he got fouled, did Aaron Burris, who laid it up and in as the Roadrunners break the William Carey pressure pretty easily. It leads to a lay-in bucket, 2-2 now the score. Dalen Dotson, what a nice blow-by move on the right baseline. He quickly gets to the bucket and lays it up and in. It's 4-2 William Carey, but Dalton State, knowing the Crusaders wanted to press, quickly took the ball out of bounds before the Crusaders could get set up. Three-pointer on the way from the point guard Craney, off the mark, no good. Adrian Williams has the rebound, and actually he's going to initiate the break. In the corner, three-pointer on the way and good. Dalen Dotson, who is he's the second leading shooter of three-pointers for this team percentage-wise, and he continues his hot shooting, from outside the arc. Down the middle of the lane, though, in this up-tempo game. This is rare to see this much of an up-tempo game. Dalton State able once again to break the William Carey pressure and get an easy bucket out of the deal. 7-4 now the score as the two teams trading baskets back and forth here. Dalen Dotson, who's got 5. He scored in the last 2 possessions for William Carey, gives it up to Douglas. Douglas going to drive it into the paint, but it's poked away, leading to a 2-on-1 opportunity, but good transition defense. And a carry. Good job by Ryan McCraney. He actually just kind of floated into the dribbling path of Raheem England, and England had to change directions, and the referees got him for the old school carry violation. That's one of those calls that's completely gone away in pro basketball. You'd have to put it under your armpit. Three-pointer on the way and off the mark, no good. A good rebound for the moment as Shepard was fighting for the loose ball, but give Dalton State's Pugh a lot of credit as he poked it away. Shepard had the rebound off the miss from Ryan McCraney right there for an instant, but before he could really bring it back down and get rid of it again, as he was down on the far near side baseline, Pugh poked it away. A turnaround flat-footed shot, no good, and now we get a held ball situation, and the possession arrow faces Dalton State. Sean Chisholm from about 16 feet out, both feet firmly planted on the ground. Talk about old school. That was a 1950s set shot right there, but he missed it. Inbounds, right back to him. Three-pointer on the way, no good by Carey. Carey took it in, and as soon as he threw it in, he got it right back for three, but he missed the shot. Now here come the Crusaders. McCraney kicks it. Adrian Williams has it. Dalen Dotson now has it as the Crusaders moving the basketball all over the floor. Now McCraney's got a great look at it from the right wing. Ryan McCraney. Boy, I guess that extra work in practice did help. There's another break, though, of the Crusader pressure, but this time a block at the other end. Adrian Williams gets credited with the block as the Crusaders stop the potential lay-in by Dalton State. In the low, Ryan McCraney had a good look at a three, but Dalen Dotson, who did a nice job feeding McCraney, he kept his momentum going after he passed it, and he bowled into a Dalton State Roadrunner defender and gets called for the game's first foul. It's a charge. 16:19 to go in an action-packed first 3.5-ish minutes of the basketball game. William Carey up 6, 10-4. Only a couple of lay-ins, and there's an offensive foul as once again the Crusaders are pressuring, and Dalton State is actually getting it into the front court, but it's interesting how the turnovers that you're used to seeing maybe in the back court forced by the pressure are now coming in the front court. That time it was a charge. Aaron Burris, who got the pass down low, he tried to take it straight up to the glass, but standing right in his way was a William Carey defender who took the charge. So another turnover forced by this William Carey defense. Maybe not the conventional way. Three-pointer on the way. McCraney is firing at will. He misses it off the back end. Misses it off the back rim. No good. And a foul call as McCraney actually came in trying to follow his own shot. He gets called for the foul, trying to track down that miss of the three-pointer. But Ryan McCraney, boy, you talk about the green light. He has got the green light here today. 2 for 4 so far, but missed that one. Down underneath, shot no good. The Crusader defense really a good job in making up some ground as Dalton State did a little back cut down the baseline. It looked like it was going to work to perfection, but Raheem England's shot up on the glass at the last moment. The Crusaders made up the ground and were able to get a finger on it, and then the ball was poked out of bounds by Dalton State. Dotson kicks it to Cam. Cam going to take a 15-foot jumper. It's good. Perfect. Cam Douglas, nothing but net, and the Crusaders are up 8 in the early going. 15-19 left to go. 12-4 is the score. 3 Crusaders set to check in for the first set of substitutions of the ball game. Dribbling out front, Adrian Williams nearly pokes it away, and now on a second time, as Malik Pugh had got by. He thought he was safe, but then Williams came up behind him. Three-point attempt on the way by Dalton State, no good. Again, a ragged possession there by the Roadrunners. Oh, but a turnover as Ryan McCraney tried to hit Cam Douglas on the left wing. And at the other end, he turns it over. Back-to-back turnovers, one by the Crusaders, one by the Roadrunners. Here comes Adrian Williams. Williams kind of weaves his way to the free throw line, but can't hit the jumper off the front of the rim, no good. And now slowing it down for a breather for the moment are the Roadrunners. The Roadrunners living up to their name in this game as they are running up and down the floor, but the Crusaders, except for a couple of lay-ins off of the press that they broke, boy, there was a nice pass. Speaking of lay-ins, another lay-in off a beautiful assist from Carey, who went over the top of the Crusader defense. Remember, William Carey likes to front the post. Well, Carey just went over the top, and Chisholm was able to catch it and actually in midair made the catch and put it back off the glass and in. 12-6 the score. In the front court, Cam Douglas, left wing, going to drive it into the paint, forcing it up on the glass and in. Boy, forcing the issue. He went right up against not one, not two, but 3 Roadrunners, and he wins the battle as he puts it off the glass and in. Adrian Williams tried to pick the pocket of Sean Carey, but it goes out of bounds into the front row of the bleachers, and here comes a whole bunch of substitutions. Actually, the Crusaders had 3 at the bench. They've sent Jartavius Dobbs to join Brandon Cranford, Rodney Mallett, and Vontae McDavid at the bench, and so 4 Crusaders are switched in and out, along with a couple of Roadrunners. So 6 of the 10 players who were on the floor are now getting a rest, and the Crusaders playing defense here as Dalton State has the basketball down 8 with 13:34 left to go first half. Down on the block, challenging Jartavius Dobbs, and a beautiful sweeping move by Elijah Staley. Staley, who was one of the two Roadrunners who just checked in. Staley, interestingly enough, was a quarterback at Mississippi State. Yes, a backup quarterback for an SEC school, but his football, he graduated and decided he wanted to play his last year of eligibility on the basketball court, and so here he is with Dalton State. Crusaders tried to do a little inside-outside action, but unfortunately the pass back out to Rodney Mallett was off the mark and into the front row of the bleachers, so a turnover for William Carey. But Elijah Staley, the former Mississippi State quarterback, now playing for Dalton State. He's the sixth man for Dalton State, but he leads the team in scoring with 14.4 points a game. Both teams shot on the way by Dalton State off the left elbow, no good. Both teams' leading scorer are not in their starting lineup. Brandon Cranford, who has the basketball right now, he's going to take the three on cue. Brandon Cranford. Boy, I tell you what, I should have talked about him a little bit earlier. Brandon Cranford with a long-range three just in front of the NAIA logo on the near side. Knocks down the three-pointer, but Cranford off the bench is the leading scorer for William Carey, while Staley is the leading scorer for Dalton State. And on cue, Elijah Staley knocks down the three. So both players, as the statistics say, are the leading scorers for their teams, and both players don't waste any time. The three possessions since they've been on the court, Elijah Staley for Dalton State, Brandon Cranford for the Crusaders, they've scored on all three possessions. Timeout, William Carey. We'll take a 30-second break with them. 17-11 is the score. Back after this on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
Spring will be here before you know it. Time to think seriously about what college or university is right for you. William Carey University is committed to making a quality education affordable to everyone. More than 90% of William Carey students receive financial aid, and 2 national ranking organizations put Carey in the top 3 for best value among Southern regional schools. If you're interested in mapping out your future in a caring Christian community, contact the William Carey Office of Admissions at 601-318-6103.
Crusaders in the front court after the timeout. First possession on the floor since getting some instructions from Coach Knight. I bet those instructions were more defensive, though. Cranford kicking it left wing, and oh boy, that was an offensive foul. We have a media timeout before we take a timeout with them because we just slipped inside the 12-minute mark. But Brandon Cranford, the factual statement is that he got called for the offensive foul after he kicked it to Rodney Mallett. The opinionated statement was he made barely any contact with the Dalton State defender, and if you want to know the definition of a flop, that would have been it. But unfortunately, Cranford gets called for the foul. So Dalton State will have the basketball when we return here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com. 11:57 left to go, first half. First media timeout of the basketball game. William Carey leads at 17-11.
Secret phone. The what? Remember? I told you my dad's a shelter agent. When that phone rings, he rushes out to save the day. Whether someone's home or car gets damaged, my dad is always there to help. He has the coolest job ever.
Well, my dad's an astronaut.
That's cool too, I guess.
Find your insurance superhero at shelterinsurance.com. In Laurel, visit Chuck May at 2015 Highway 15, Suite A. And in Hattiesburg, visit Joe Bryant on Highway 49 across from Southern Miss.
Well, if only these numbers could continue, I would imagine Coach Knight would sign up for that right now. The Crusaders, 7 of 11 from the field, 63.6% in the game's first 8 minutes, and 3 for 5 from outside the arc for a 60% clip. They lead it by 6 in the early going. They also are leading the rebounding battle and the turnover battle as well. In the front court, Dalton State breaks that pressure again. Jartavius Dobbs, though, nice job at the last moment blocking Staley's shot at the rim. At the other end, and it's Cranford's shot being blocked. Boy, whatever Staley does, Cranford does at the other end, it seems like, including getting shot blocks. But this time the ball pinballs around after the block, and Brandon Shepard knocks down the long-range 18-footer, but on the inbound pass, Cranford gets called for the foul again. So Brandon Cranford really didn't get a chance to get going in this first half, as Cranford has 2 quick fouls. It's the 4th team foul on William Carey. So Cranford, who got called for that foul, that was really a quick whistle as well. Sometimes you get your money's worth out of those fouls. Those two, not so much. But because of those 2 quick whistles, Cranford's got to sit. 3-pointer on the way. No good. An air ball, actually, shot by Kingston Frazier, leading to a break opportunity for the Crusaders. Mallet from end to end, and it curls in. Oh, it sat up on the rim, tantalizing the home crowd. Looked like it was actually going to roll out, but the next thing you know, it dropped, and it's 21-11 now. Crusaders, a 10-point lead. Crusaders have had 4. There's a 3-pointer on the way, and that's a nice adjustment as Kingston Frazier just shot an air ball from the right wing. He moved over to the left wing and knocks down the 3. 21-14 now the score. 10:50 left to go first half. But the Crusaders, with those 2 quick whistles, have lost their leading scorer probably for the rest of the first half. Mallet going to weave his way around. Off the glass, no good on the 16-foot jumper, and rebound goes to Dalton State. Cheney has it in the front court, gives it up to Elijah Staley. Staley's going to drive it against Jartavius Dobbs. It rolls around and does a 360, but comes out. So good defense in the end, and there is, what do we got here? Offensive foul once again. Cam Douglas, after delivering the basketball, gets called. This is a flop fest. Wow. I mean, Cam Douglas may have breathed on Craney, but Sean Craney goes flying to the floor and gets the call. And so the Crusaders have had 2 or 3 of these calls that have been questionable here at home at the Clinton Gymnasium. Douglas taps it away and actually got it off of Staley's hands. Boy, that was a good defensive play to step in front of that pass to Elijah Staley, but to knock it not only away but off of the foot of Elijah Staley makes it a great defensive play. So we're halfway through the first half. The Crusaders have the basketball. 21-14 the score. 5 team fouls, though, against the Crusaders with these quick whistles. That could come into play. There's a blocking foul. It's a good job by Rodney Mallet just blowing by Sean Craney, and Craney bumped him on the way by to stop his momentum. That's his first. Only the 2nd team foul whistled against the Roadrunners. So Mallet will take it out from underneath. Boy, he's got to throw it around a tree in Elijah Staley, but he gets it inbounds. And the Crusaders start the offense. Adrian Williams backs it out to the center court circle. Now gets it right back after throwing it to Rodney Mallet. Directing some traffic, 8 on the shot clock. Mallet going to dribble. He shoots. He kicks for a shot in the corner to Cam Douglas. I thought he was going to go up with that, for a quick trigger on the mouth. But instead, he kicks it out to Cam Douglas, and Douglas splashes the 3. So the Crusaders continue their hot shooting from behind the arc, and that stretches the lead back out to double digits for the second time in the first half at 24-14, and we get a traveling violation. Another great job of defense as they collapse on the ball handler, Randy Bell, and Bell turns the basketball over. Marquez McGee checks in. Slim's first action, giving Shep a rest. And Rodney Mallet will walk it up the court. On the floor for the Crusaders right now, it's Mallet running the point. Adrian Williams playing the 2. And now Cam has really moved to the 3 position with Slim and Jartavius Dobbs playing the 4 and the 5. Adrian Williams, right elbow, kicks it to Douglas. Douglas tried to drive the baseline, but it got the ball knocked away, able to retain it, gives it back out front to Dobbs, and Dobbs showing his range right there. 16-foot jumper. Hadn't seen Jartavius make one from that far out this season so far, and he knocks it down. 26-14 the score, not only a double-digit lead, they lead by a dozen. Largest lead of the first half so far. Three-pointer, thought about the three-pointer, but now coming back and trying to get it down low to Staley, and he does. Somehow, Frazier gets it down to Staley, but good defense by the Crusaders force a miss, and we get a foul. Where's the foul call here? 2 shots. They call it against Cam Douglas. It'll be Randy Bell going to the line, shooting 2 after he was able to corral the offensive rebound after the Elijah Staley miss. So Bell will go to the line to shoot 2. I believe This is the game's first free throws. On the way, and good it is. Neither team has been to the line. The first one is up and good. Ryan McCraney checks back in, along with Dalen Dotson. Cam, who got his second foul a moment ago, has to sit down. And so does Rodney Mallett. Second free throw, no good. McCraney has the rebound. So it's an 11-point lead for William Carey at 26-15. Dalen Dotson has it on the left wing, dribbling out front, top of the key. Gives it over to Adrian Williams on the baseline. Nice job getting it up and under to Marquez McGee, and McGee nearly scooped it in after taking a nice bit of body contact, but he will get free throws. So now both teams have made their way to the line for the first time in the game on the last couple of possessions. McGee's first free throw on the way, and perfect. McGee, 3 pounds of the basketball. Shot on the way, and he's 2 for 2. So Slim knocks down a couple of free throws and extends that lead to its largest once again for William Carey at 13. Brandon Shepard checks back in. Jartavius Dobbs sits down. Crusaders, 8 minutes left to go first half, up 28-15. Nice spin move out there by Pugh against Adrian Williams, but he's cut off. Now he'll restart the engine. Three-pointer on the way. It's short, no good, but a bad job boxing out by the Crusaders. An easy rebound for Randy Bell and an easier putback. It's 28-17. Williams gets the pick from Shepard, gives it right back to Shepard. Shepard fakes a 16-footer, down spins and takes a 12-footer, won't go, and the rebound goes to Dalton. Roadrunners a chance to get back to within single digits with back-to-back baskets, trying to dump it down to Staley. He does, but blocked by Marquez McGee. Again, though, the Roadrunners able to extend the possession with that tracking down of that loose ball after Staley's shot was blocked by Marquez McGee. Oh, and look at Brandon Shepard. Shepard stepping in front, and he'll dunk it home. Brandon Shepard stepping in front of the pass. That's usually something that we see from Adrian Williams or one of the guards, but the Crusaders' big man comes all the way out nearly by the center court U, and the WCU logo, pokes it away, tracks it down, then dribbles it himself and jams it home for the dunk, and a timeout called by Dalton State to talk things over. 7:07 left to go first half. The Crusaders are up 13 in the early going. 30-17 is the score back after this 30-second break on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
Stop waiting in long lines when you fly. Stop paying for parking and stop driving hours to get to your flight. Let the Hattiesburg Laurel Regional Airport take all that stress away. Book your flight by going to AA.com or call 800-433-7300. Hattiesburg Laurel Regional offers flights to Chicago and Dallas-Fort Worth. Competitive pricing, short check-in lines, free parking, and right off I-59 exit 76. Visit AA.com or call 800-433-7300 and schedule your next flight from the Hattiesburg Laurel Regional Airport.
William Carey right now 12-5 overall, but more importantly 8-1 in conference play. For those that didn't check out the standings in the national rankings this week when the new poll came out, William Carey up to 18th in the country after a nice stretch between. They go 2 weeks between polls in the NAIA, not week to week. So a nice 2-week stretch moves the Crusaders up another few points. But again, only one game in front of Stillman. Stillman actually the higher ranked team in the country, but the Crusaders ahead of them in the conference. So Dalton State, after the timeout, we'll see what they come up with. Down 13 in the early going here at the Clinton Gymnasium. Nice dribbling right there, but better defense by Adrian Williams makes them give it up, and Frazier has the ball stripped away, and the Crusaders force the turnover. McCraney up the floor, has it, going to take a long-range three, and off the mark, no good. Look at Slim on the putback. Marquez McGee active in his time on the floor. He's only been out there for about 90 seconds. He's got 4 points and a block to boot, and that's a 15-point lead now for the Crusaders. Quickly up the floor, Staley will dunk it against Brandon Shepard. A long-range half-court pass that the Crusaders weren't able to defend. It ends up being a bucket for the Roadrunners, 32-19. Now the score, Crusaders in the front court trying to answer. Dalen Dotson, he's had a good start to this basketball game. He'll drive, he will shoot, and a foul call. Who's the foul on, though? as one of the Crusaders went flying to the floor. Was the foul on Dalton State running through the pick, or was it on? No, they don't call it on the Dalton State player who ran over Adrian Williams, but Dalen Dotson does get the foul call, and he'll shoot 2. So interestingly enough, that's actually a better break for William Carey, although the one on Adrian Williams, the contact was much more obvious. It was the foul on Dalen Dotson that called, and that was a shooting foul. So 2 free throws coming for William Carey. Dobbs set to check in again for the Crusaders. First free throw up and good. That's Aaron Burris. Aaron Burris set to check in. Here comes McGee off the bench. That was a really nice stretch for Marquez McGee, nicknamed Slim. He's slim. It's because he's kind of an undersized forward, but you go stand next to him, and he's a big guy. 2 free throws made by Dalen Dotson as he calmly strokes a couple of them. It's 6:06 left to go as we approach the second media timeout of the first half, but the Crusaders up 15. That matches their largest lead of the game. Frazier faked the 3. Now over in the corner, baseline jumper up and good. Elijah Staley, their leading scorer, and you can see why. Boy, he's got he is a force when he did get out there. Remember, he was not in the starting lineup. He's the 6th man off the bench, and he's still the leading scorer for this Roadrunner basketball team. Shepard has it right wing, looking for somebody to give it to. Now he's going to dribble it himself, gives it back to Adrian Williams. Williams picks his way, gives it back to Shep. A long-range jumper, and Brandon Shepard. Wow, we've seen a 18-footer from the big man Dobbs, and now an 18-footer from the big man Shepard as the 4 and 5 position players for William Carey showing their range. 36-21 the score. Poked away. Boy, Jartavius Dobbs, a quick foul. They tried to get it down low into Elijah Staley. That foul against the Crusaders is the 7th team foul, I believe. We'll confirm that when we come back. There's only 6 on the board, but I think that is number 7. If it is, there it is. A little bit of a late push of the button by the Crusaders here at the scorers table, but it is foul number 7. So when we come back, Dalton State's Elijah Staley will be shooting 1 and 1 as now the Roadrunners are in the bonus for the rest of the first half. But right now, the Crusaders lead at 36-21. Back after this on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
I've dealt with the big box stores. I thought they were the ones to get the best deals. I talked to one of the salespeople at the big box stores. And he told me, listen, I'm not a carpenter. I don't know how to build a fence. If you want somebody that can help you build a fence, there's a place downtown that's called Economy Supply. Go down there and ask them. They will show you exactly what you need. And you know what? He was absolutely right.
Well, I said at the first media timeout that Coach Knight would probably sign up for 63.6% from the field shooting. Well, he's smarter than I am. Well, I signed up for that when you can shoot 66.7%. The Crusaders are 14 of 21 from the floor. Oh, by the way, they've had 4 free throws and made all 4 of those as well. So the Crusaders on fire on the offensive end here. They're led by a couple of players with 7 points apiece, Cam Douglas and Dalen Dotson. Speaking of leading scorers, Elijah Staley's at the line. First free throw up and good. And just like that, off the bench, he's already into double digits. He has 10 of the Roadrunners' 22 points here in the first half. Second free throw is good. So he wasn't in the game for the game's first 5 minutes. So in 10 game minutes, he's got 10 points. And the Crusaders, though, still up 36-23 as he makes both of those free throws off the benefit of being in the bonus. Dalen Dotson, right wing, dribbles it out front. Going to get it over to Dobbs. Dobbs on the right baseline. Gets down to the block, but is turned away. Ryan McCraney has it with 8. Out front, top of the key. Got to give it to Dotson. Dotson with 4. With 3. Gives it to McCraney. McCraney going to shoot it, and it's no good. It was an air ball. He had to fire it, though, as the 30-second shot clock expired. So it'll be a miss in the on the scorer's sheet here, but it was the one he had to shoot it, and it was just he actually had a man right in his face, so he had no good look at it, did McCraney. Good defense on that possession by Dalton State, and we have a whistle, and Adrian Williams poked in the eye, and he's going to have to come out of the basketball game. And so McDavid will have to check in. So the Crusaders, actually in that exchange, Brandon Cranford has also checked in. So Cranford with 2 fouls, he's going to have to be careful. But the leading scorer for the Crusaders was limited in the early going with 2 quick whistles against him. He's actually only been on the floor for 2 minutes and 9 seconds prior to this possession. Dalton State trying to climb a little closer as they trail by 13. Bobbled in the corner, now double teamed in the corner, in trouble, and throwing it away was Dalton State. Good defense by William Carey. Malik Pugh got caught in the corner. He took the pass and tried to make a move, but he bobbled the basketball, and when he had to go reclaim it, 2 Crusaders clamped down on him, and in the end, forced an errant pass and a turnover. Brandon Shepard nearly turned it over, but he does get it to McDavid, and Vontae McDavid, who just checked in only because Adrian Williams got injured with a poke in the eye. What a fortuitous poke in the eye that was. Ends up hitting the three-pointer at the other end. Blocked at the rim by Brandon Shepard, but Dalton State able to get the rebound, and boy, almost a circus highlight reel shot that nearly went in for Dalton State, but in the end, it's just 2 free throws coming for Randy Bell. A great job by Brandon Shepard as he collapsed quickly and blocked Elijah Staley's shot, but it went back into the hands of Randy Bell. And Bell, when he went back up, got fouled hard, but somehow scooped it from almost around his waistline up to the rim, but it just didn't crawl over. 2 free throws coming. As I said earlier, sometimes you don't get your money's worth out of a foul. That one, the Crusaders did get their money's worth out of that foul. That was a hard foul delivered by Dobbs. Dobbs will check out, though, because he's got 2 fouls. McGee quickly checks in. First free throw from Randy Bell was off the mark. So 3:42 to go. Crusaders up 16 points as they are shooting lights out in the first half here. Second free throw also no good, and McGee has a rebound. Boy, Slim has only been out there about 3 minutes, and he has made the most out of those 3 minutes, to say the least. He's got 4 points, got a couple of rebounds and a block. Shepard from straight away, he knocks it down again. Brandon Shepard showing the range. He's got 8 points. That leads the Crusaders, and everything the Crusaders seem to be flinging up toward the basket finds its way home. 18-point lead at 41-23. Craney tried to dump it down. Look at Slim. Guess who? Marquez McGee's got a steal in the stat sheet now. He's doing everything. And we get a travel. Oh, at the other end, kind of an unforced error there as Vontae McDavid got it way over in the right corner. Instead of taking the 3, he decided to drive, but he had already taken his 2 steps. So inside of 3 minutes left to go, 41-23 the score. This is one of the best halves of basketball the Crusaders have played this season. Thought about the 3. That could have been called a travel. Getting into the lane and a little one-handed running floater. Nice little teardrop shot there by Kingston Frazier goes down. Inbound pass knocked away, but it's still Crusader basketball. And Dalton State's only committed 4 fouls, so the Crusaders nowhere near. They will not get to the bonus for sure here in this first half, barring a myriad of fouls here in the last 2:35 or so in the first half. Mallett guarded closely out there. Could have been called a foul there. Good defense, though. Trying to get it away. Mallett going to pull up at the 14-foot mark. No good. Rebound that goes to the Crusaders. Well, a lot of contact, but no foul call. And now we get a foul call, and it's Marquez McGee just battling underneath and frustrating Sean Craney so much that he just shoves him in the back as they go up for the rebound. and McGee was slapping his hands together. He knew he got the better end of that battle underneath. He not only keeps the possession with that hard fighting underneath for the Crusaders, they got the foul call on Dalton State. 2:23 left. Boy, you get efforts like this off the bench like McGee is giving the Crusaders, and those are great pick-me-ups. Shot on the way, no good. Rodney Mallett off the inbounds. It's McGee again. Marquez McGee gets the rebound. There are 3 Dalton State Roadrunners around Marquez. He comes up with the rebound in a 1-on-3 situation and gets fouled again. What a first half of basketball for all the Crusaders, but McGee is making quite the impact off the bench for the Crusaders. They'll have another crack at this possession, about the 3rd or 4th crack, thanks to Marquez McGee. Mallett has it out front as we approach the 2-minute mark. Crusaders up 16, trying to add to it. McGee's done everything he can. Somebody needs to take advantage of all these offensive boards. Dalen Dotson gets to the glass. He nearly got it to go, but he does get fouled. 2 free throws coming for Dalen. Boy, Coach Knight is pushing all the right buttons. He's got 2 big men out there at times with Shepard and Dobbs. He's had the 2 point guards out there, as he does now with Mallett and Dotson. Slim has been interchangeable with both Dobbs and Shepard. Everything working right now for William Carey. The first free throw is good. The great Casey Kasem once said that the hits just keep on coming on American Top 40. Well, the ball just keeps on dropping for William Carey, although that free throw off the mark, but they have shot the ball very well here in this first 18 minutes of this basketball game, and they lead by 17. In the corner, Dalton State guarded closely in the corner, in trouble, almost got a 5 count, but just getting it away was England. Back out front, Frazier falls to the floor. It's a turnover, and it's going to lead to an easy basket. Dalen Dotson going to take it the distance. He misses the lay-in, but Rodney Mallett actually gets it back, and Dalton State has to call another timeout. The Crusaders are flying here on this Saturday afternoon. It's been all William Carey in the game's first 18 and a half minutes. 1:28 still left to go in the first half. William Carey leads at 44-25. Back after this on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
Charlie's got his brick picked out. Why don't you head over to Columbia Block and Brick and let us help you select a brick for your new home? You see Columbia Block and Brick on beautiful homes all over South Mississippi. Come rely on our decades of experience. We have helped thousands of homeowners select the perfect brick since 1946. We make it easy at Columbia Block and Brick, helping pick out shingles, windows, and all the exterior colors. Let our experienced team create a look and curb appeal that will stand the test of time. At Columbia Block and Brick, we won't sell you an ugly brick. Isn't that right, Charlie?
Dalton State looking for something here in this last 90 seconds of the first half to try to scratch back a little closer, at least, before the break. The Roadrunners down 19 here at the Clinton Gymnasium. Drive to the glass, and it's a charge! Dalton State. Randy Bell trying off the timeout to take it strong to the hoop off the far side baseline, and the Crusaders get the foul call. I believe, guess who? It was Marquez McGee with a big smile on his face, drawing the charge. McGee has been a star off the bench for the Crusaders in this first half. Every possession you're saying his name. It's amazing. Here comes Mallett up the floor with 1:08 left to go. Crusaders a chance to get this out to a plus 20 advantage possibly. Oh, with a basket, but Brandon Shepard passed to him. It was like a receiver in the NFL who takes his eyes off the ball and tries to run with it. Shep just took his eyes off of it, went right between his hands and out of bounds. So back into the hands of Dalton State, inside of a minute left to go, first half. Staley has it way out front. That's where you want him to have it. Now over to England. England guarded by Dotson for the moment. In the corner, a tough three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound fought for by Slim. Slim! Slim takes it away from Staley and gets it into the hands of Shepard. Here comes McDavid up the floor. Gives it to Dotson. Fakes the three. Kicks it back out to McDavid. Now he'll kick it to Mallett for a wide open look at a three, but they can't get the basket to go. And we get a foul on the inside, though. Staley shoving the back of Brandon Shepard. And Shepard, I believe, will go to the line. Yes, the Crusaders do finally reach the bonus with 26 seconds left to go in the half. And Shep will get a chance at a 1-and-1 opportunity. 2 or 3 possessions here in the last, I should say 2 or 3 times in the last few possessions. The Crusaders have been shoved on offensive rebound attempts. I think that's an indicator. First free throw on the way and good. He will get the bonus. But that's an indicator that Dalton State's getting a little frustrated. The Crusaders are absolutely beating them in every aspect of this game so far. Second free throw is good. Brandon Shepard with a great first half, and now Dalton State, with the shot clock turned off, will have an opportunity at potentially scoring the game's final points of the half. The Crusaders, though, enjoying their largest lead of the game at 21, 46-25. 10 seconds now on the game clock. They'll start the offense. Give it inside to Staley. Staley going to go, strong and bowl into Slim. He makes the basket, but here come the Crusaders up the floor from half court. No good. Adrian Williams got a decent look at it, but couldn't quite muscle it all the way to the rim as it was on target. And that's how the first half comes to an end. Well, the good news for Dalton State is they do get the final points of the half. The bad news is the rest of the half didn't go quite their way. William Carey pretty much dominating the entire first 20 minutes of this basketball game. And at the half, it's William Carey 46, Dalton State 27. Back after this 2-minute timeout, and we'll go over what most likely will be some kind of good-looking statistics for William Carey in just a moment.
Dr. Bill Farmer of Hattiesburg GI Associates.
Another good thing about colon cancer screening is that most every insurance company will pay for a free screening colonoscopy at age 50.
Dr. Creed Fox.
So if you have insurance and you're over 50 and you've never had a colonoscopy done, it could be covered by your insurance at no cost to you.
A colonoscopy screening could save your life. Just make the call to Hattiesburg GI Associates and learn how easy a life-saving screening can be, and at no cost to you. HGIA on Weathersby Road. Call 601-261-5185.
Anderson Design Center's new kitchen and bath cabinet studio is now open. Introducing craft-made Vantage cabinets, a new standard of excellence now available at Anderson Design Center. Quality, craftsmanship, a variety of door style and color options, and innovative design techniques for optimal storage and organization. Cabinets that will last a lifetime. Visit our Facebook page for videos and visit our new craft-made Vantage Design Studio at Anderson Design Center, Hattiesburg.
Hey, are you looking for a great deal today on speakers, power tools, amps, guitars, lawn gear, or jewelry? Well, Discount Pawn and Pedal has all of that and much more. Discount Pawn and Pedal carries a wide variety of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Hey, you won't find a more unique collection of pre-owned items anywhere. Come see for yourself at Discount Pawn, located at 1007 South Main Street in Pedal. We have it at Discount Pawn.
This is Mason with Ramey Motors, now your new home for Honda Motor Power Sports. Honda Motor Power Sports by Ramey Motors is located on Highway 589 just off I-59. We have over 100 units in stock of Honda ATVs, side-by-sides, and motorcycles. We also offer a full parts and service department staffed with gold certified Honda techs. Ramey Motors guarantees you the best prices in South Mississippi, so call 769-456-7757 or go to RameyMotorPowersports.com to view our current inventory.
At the half at the Clinton Gymnasium, David Sutton here bringing you William Carey basketball here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com, and the Crusaders lead it 46-27. That was as well of a 20 minutes of basketball as the Crusaders have put together all season long. 10 Crusaders got on the floor in the first half. 5 of them didn't miss a shot. 5 Crusaders played the first half, And now some of them are 1 for 1, trust me, but 5 Crusaders on the stat sheet did not miss in the first half. That's shooting the ball very well. Overall, it ended up at 17 for 29 when it was all said and done. The Crusaders were 5 for 9 from three-point range, and at the free throw line, only 1 miss from the free throw line, 7 of 8. So the Crusaders, when they shot it, it pretty much went in. It ends up being a 59% clip from the field, a 56% clip from three-point range, and an 88% clip from the line. The Crusaders winning the rebounding battle as well, a +6. That's a nice, not only winning the rebounding battle just barely, that's a nice job out rebounding Dalton State 18-12 in this one, and they're also leading the turnover battle, although they've made Dalton State, they forced Dalton State, I should say, into 14 turnovers, which is good, but the Crusaders did commit 12, which I know that Coach Knight, if he were here, would probably think, man, if that were down in single digits, that would make him smile a little bit more. But beyond that little bit of a negative, everything else a positive. In fact, even in the assist numbers, you know, you go back to the games like at Blue Mountain, the Crusaders went the entire game on the road against the Toppers a little over a week ago with only 6 assists for the game. They had 10 assists as they moved the ball around so fluidly on offense here against Dalton State. Roadrunners obviously have to make a lot of adjustments defensively against the Crusaders, because the Crusader offense really, again, this is one of the best first halves for sure that they've had this season. And again, I know they've probably scored more points in a half in the course of the season, but just the eyeball test, this is as clean and crisp of an offensive effort as William Carey has had in any half of basketball from my point of view. Brandon Shepard leads the way. He got to double digits in the first half. He averages a double-double, and he's on his way to a double-double. In fact, the stat sheet is loaded for Brandon Shepard. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and 3 steals for the big man. So just an excellent half of basketball. Went 4 for 6 from the field, and he made his 2 free throws on the last possession for William Carey. With 8 points, Dalen Dotson, again a great first half, 2 for 3 from the field. He made his only 3-point attempt that he shot, and he was also 3 for 4 from the line while dishing out a couple of assists. With 7 points, it's Cam Douglas. Cam did that in just 9 minutes of play, and 3 for 3 shooting from the floor. Made his only 3-point attempt. He's one of the 5 Crusaders who didn't miss in the first half. The rest of the scoring for William Carey, 5 points for Ryan McCraney, who came out firing. It was great to see Ryan, who's been a little cold, a little bit of a shooting slump really since the Christmas break, to be perfectly honest with you. So for a good 2 to 3 weeks, we just haven't seen Ryan have that confident stroke. Well, he hit a couple of baskets early on. One of those was a 3-pointer. He's got 5 points. A couple of Crusaders with 4. Rodney Mallett and Marquez McGee. Boy, what a first half for Slim it was. He made his only shot. He hit his only 2 free throws for his 4 points, but also 3 rebounds to go along with a block, to go along with a steal, and oh, by the way, he drew a charge, and all of that was less than 7 minutes of action in the first half. A great job off the bench by Marquez McGee. Vontae McDavid is taking a shot. It was a 3-pointer, and it went in for his 3 points. Brandon Cranford's taking a shot. It was a 3-pointer. It went in for his 3 points. And with 2 points rounding out the scoring for William Carey, Jartavius Dobbs, he hit his only shot he took in the first half, and it was a long one, an 18-foot jumper that was right on the money. For Dalton State, one player, their leading scorer, Elijah Staley. And if you weren't with us in the pregame show, Elijah Staley, an interesting story. He was a quarterback for Mississippi State. He was a backup quarterback up for the Bulldogs, and last year played his final season of basketball, graduated from Mississippi State, but wanted to play some basketball. Still had a year of eligibility left to do so. So he came out, transferred to Dalton State, and is playing 1 year for the Roadrunners. He's leading the team in scoring, and he's done so by doing it coming off the bench. He is not one of their regular starters. He did not play the first 6 minutes and 11 seconds of this basketball game, but when he did came in, he did play the final 13:49 and made the most of it, basically scoring a point a minute. 13 minutes and 49 seconds of action. He scored 13 points for Dalton State, basically half of their offense coming from one player on 5 of 9 shooting. He did hit a three-pointer and made both of his free throws as well to lead the way for Dalton State. Nobody else for Dalton State has more than 5 points, as the Crusaders have played tremendous defense, holding Dalton State to just 11 of 26 from the floor, 2 of 8 from outside the arc, and the Roadrunners not taking advantage of their free throw opportunities as much as I'm sure they would want to, although they've only went there and gotten 6 free throws. They are 3 for 6, just a 50% clip from the free throw line. Again, the Crusaders leading in the rebounding total by 6, 18-12, and in the turnover margin by 2, 12 committed by William Carey, 14 forced. Dalton State with 14 turnovers committed in the first half. But the all-important statistic, it's the one on the scoreboard, and that the Crusaders have led by as many as 21. That was actually with just 32 seconds remaining in the first half, but Dalton State was able to get one final bucket before the horn sounded. So our halftime score is William Carey 46, Dalton State 27. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. We'll tell you about our next broadcast. It's coming up quick. Rare Monday game for the Crusaders as they complete this 3-conference game stretch over a 96-hour period, as they have to make the trip down to the Big Easy in Loyola, on the campus, I should say, of Loyola in New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans will be the site of the the center of the sporting universe, at least one of them tomorrow. Kansas City and New Orleans hosting the conference championship games in the NFL. Hopefully that crowd will have dissipated a little bit when we make the trip down on Monday. But we'll talk about that next broadcast and the next game for William Carey, both the men and the women, after this, and we'll have the tip-off of the second half for you here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com. Again, the Crusaders lead at 46-27 at the half.
Spring will be here before you know it. Time to think seriously about what college or university is right for you. William Carey University is committed to making a quality education affordable to everyone. More than 90% of William Carey students receive financial aid, and 2 national ranking organizations put Carey in the top 3 for best value among Southern regional schools. If you're interested in mapping out your future in a Carey Christian community, contact the William Carey Office of Admissions at 601-318-6103.
That's the secret phone. The what? Remember? I told you my dad's a shelter agent. When that phone rings, he rushes out to save the day. Whether someone's home, a car gets damaged, my dad is always there to help. He has the coolest job ever.
Well, my dad's an astronaut.
That's cool too, I guess.
Find your insurance superhero at shelterinsurance.com. In Laurel, visit Chuck May at 2015 Highway 15, Suite A. And in Hattiesburg, visit Joe Bryant on Highway 49 across from Southern Miss.
Stop waiting in long lines when you fly. Stop paying for parking and stop driving hours to get to your flight. Let the Hattiesburg Laurel Regional Airport take all that stress away. Book your flight by going to AA.com or call 800-433-7300. Hattiesburg Laurel Regional offers flights to Chicago and Dallas-Fort Worth. Competitive pricing, short check-in lines, free parking, and right off I-59 exit 76. Visit AA.com or call 800-433-7300 and schedule your next flight from the Hattiesburg Laurel Regional Airport.
I've dealt with the big box stores. I thought they were the ones to get the best deals. I talked to one of the salespeople at the big box stores, and he told me, listen, I'm not a carpenter. I don't know how to build a fence. If you want somebody that can help you build a fence, there's a place downtown that's called Economy Supply. Go down there and ask them. They will show you exactly what you need. And you know what? He was absolutely right.
Both the Crusader men and women will be back in action on Martin Luther King Day. On the Monday, on the holiday, celebrating the life of Martin Luther King, the Crusaders will be on the road playing some holiday basketball down in the Big Easy as they will take on the Loyola Wolfpack. The Crusader women will play at 5:30 while the men's game is set for 7:30. We'll actually have both of those games for you on the internet platform. We'll do a doubleheader road version of a doubleheader on supertalkhattiesburg.com. The pregame show for the women will start at 5:15, and the tip-off for the Lady Crusaders, who will try to continue that momentum. Boy, a huge win. If you didn't hear about it on Thursday, the Crusaders, for Tracy English's Lady Crusaders, hosting the top-ranked team in the conference. Martin Methodist came in first place here to the Clinton Gymnasium. The Crusaders not only upset Martin Methodist, they crushed Martin Methodist. A 23-point shellacking laid on by the Lady Crusaders, and their best 40 minutes of basketball of the year by far, and they'll try to back that up and upset Loyola, one of the top teams in the conference as well. Loyola, though, was locked in a battle earlier with Martin Methodist. Martin Methodist was actually ahead late in that basketball game, so try to get you a final before the end of our broadcast here on of the men's game. But the women at 5:30, the men at 7:30. Our next broadcast of William Carey basketball, doubleheader style from New Orleans, will be on Monday evening. 5:15 pregame on Monday, with a 5:30 tip of the women and then a 7:30 tip of the men. Be sure to be with us for William Carey basketball. And that actually will be the official halfway point of the conference season, as it will be the final game by both the men and the women against, final on the first half, with Loyola being the final team that they have not played so far this season in conference play. Then next Thursday, both teams will be back in action at the Clinton Gymnasium as they start the second go-around in conference action. It'll be the second time they've hooked up with Bruton Parker. Bruton Parker next Thursday is the next home game here, and we'll have that game for you also, women and men, on the internet and on the radio dial of 97.3 FM. We'll have the men's game for you on a dual broadcast next Thursday night. But we're ready to get things going here in a game that the Crusaders, for the moment, comfortably out in front at the half. Up 19 and with the basketball as the arrow points in their direction for the first possession of the second half. Dalen Dotson gets it down on the block to Cam Douglas. Douglas spins, Douglas shoots, but he can't get the shot to go. Off the glass, no good. So Dalton State on the run, quickly up the floor. They are now moving right to left on your computer screen or smart device or desktop, computer, however you are joining us here on supertalkhattiesburg.com. Hopefully the Crusaders can finish the deal. Wow, and a late whistle. Sean Carey took a three-pointer, and the ball was nearly on the rim before you heard the whistle. The foul call against Adrian Williams. The shot was no good, but Carey was outside the arc, so he's going to get 3 free throws and a chance for Dalton State to climb closer here on their first possession of the second half, and they have done so, at least by 1, as the first free throw is good. Second free throw also good. And Carey will now try to pull off the hat trick. Crusaders did a great job against Carey in the first half. That free throw is also good. Carey was held scoreless in the first half. He's the leading assist man for this team, but he also is averaging 13 points a game, and the Crusaders shut him out in the first half, but now he's got 3 on the very first possession for Dalton State in the second half, thanks to 3 free throws. Foul call against Dalton State as McCraney was fouled, trying to split a couple of defenders, so McCraney will take it out from underneath. Shepard has it, gets it back out front to Dotson. 19-13 to go. Down low to Cam. Cam kicks it back out to Dotson as the possession continues. Now Adrian Williams will get to the bucket. Couldn't get the shot to fall, but he does get the foul call. And Adrian Williams will head to the line to shoot 2. Adrian, oddly enough, in the first half, the Crusaders played 10 players. 9 got into the scoring column. Adrian Williams was the only Crusader without a point in the first half, but maybe can take that little stat away, and he does with a free throw here. So now on the first points for William Carey of the second half, everybody who has seen action for William Carey is in the scoring column. Second free throw is, off the back of the rim. Came back, touched the front, and went in. Nice shooter's touch there The free throw was a little long initially, and the Crusaders get both free throws, and it's a 48-30 lead for William Carey. Left wing, back out front comes Dalton State's England, gives it up, three-pointer on the way, and Craney's bad shooting night continues, and the long rebound goes to Ryan McCraney, and McCraney outlet pass to Cam Douglas, and Douglas flushes it home. A 20-point lead again for William Carey. So Sean Craney has not had a field goal in the entire ball game. A three-pointer that missed led to the long rebound and a 2-on-0 break for William Carey. The ball kicked back right wing after a nifty pass from Craney, and that ball up and in. Boy, that was hard work, but Aaron Burris was able to get it off the glass and in for Dalton State. 50-32 now is the William Carey lead. Adrian Williams, left wing, comes to the free throw line, gives it to McCraney, who quickly gives it back to Dotson. Over to Douglas on the left wing, back to Dotson out front. Shepard has it. He's guarded closely, though. Now he gives it to McCraney. McCraney going to drive. He's going to float. He's going to shoot, and he's going to score. He, too, with a nice shooter's touch as it hit the rim 2 or 3 times before dropping home. 52-32, back to a 20-point lead for William Carey. A kicked ball violation as Craney tried to dump it down low to a cutting England. So the Roadrunners will take it out from in front of their own bench. Craney still cut off. He kicks it left wing, three-pointer short. Rebound to Cam Douglas. Douglas up the floor. Adrian Williams drives. He will shoot. He gets fouled, and he'll go back to the line to shoot a couple of more free throws. So once again, the Crusaders pressing the action after getting a long rebound out of the deal. And last time it led to a dunk. This time it leads to free throws. 17:27 left. Crusaders up 20. Free throw on the way and good. So Adrian Williams, again, scoreless in the first half, but 3 for 3 from the line here in the second half. Second free throw on the way, and it is good. So just like that, Dalton State with a nice start to the half, but the Crusaders have now stretched out the lead back, not only to where it was at the half, but beyond. A 22-point lead, that's as big as it's been. 54-32 to be exact. Craney behind the back pass, three-pointer on the way and good. Nifty little pass, but more importantly, he drew a couple of defenders, and that left Burris open for three. Douglas, crossover dribble, has it slapped away, but it's into the hands of Shepard. Possession continues, back into the hands of Douglas, drives the baseline, 360 spin. Oh, and it's Brandon Shepard. The shot didn't go in, but Shepard off the weak side scooped it out of midair and flushed it home. Oh boy, that was a pretty spectacular two-pointer. And at the other end, though, breaking down the defense was Craney. The leading assist man has back-to-back assists on the offensive end for the Roadrunners and another bucket for Dalton State, but the lead still at 19, but it could extend here. Williams turns it over, 2-on-1 break, and it does. 56-39 now the score, and a timeout called by Coach Knight. So after the Crusaders went up by 22 points at 56-34, Dalton State has scored 5 consecutive points, and the Crusaders now, actually it's a 7-2 run if you want to be exact. It was 54-32, but a 7-2 run nonetheless has the lead back to 17. It's still a nice lead for William Carey, but Coach Knight calls a timeout, doesn't want it to get any closer. 16-13 left, back after this on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
Charlie's got his brick picked out. Why don't you head over to Columbia Block and Brick and let us help you select a brick for your new home? You see Columbia Block and Brick on beautiful homes all over South Mississippi. Come rely on our decades of experience. We have helped thousands of homeowners select the perfect brick since 1946. We make it easy at Columbia Block and Brick, helping pick out shingles, windows, and all the exterior colors. Let our experienced team create a look and curb appeal that will stand the test of time. At Columbia Block and Brick, we won't sell you an ugly brick. Isn't that right, Charlie?
56-39 the score, 16-13 left to go in the game. The Crusaders up 17 and with the basketball. Coach Knight using his second timeout there. Doesn't like this little mini 7-2 run that Dalton State has created with a couple of transition baskets. Dotson has it, gives it to McCraney for 3, and off the mark, no good. Rebound, though, goes to the Crusaders. Cam Douglas keeps it alive. Adrian Williams drives, gives it back out to Shepard. Off the elbow, shot on the way, and that was contested as well, and he knocks it down. Brandon Shepard's good night continues. He's got 14 points, and the Crusader lead is 19 at 58-39. Home crowd imploring the defense to play well on this possession, chanting defense. Craney trying to find the range, can't do it for Dalton State. He is having his worst night probably of the season, and that, wow, could have been a technical foul. Could have been a technical foul there as the ball has missed, went out of bounds. Dalton State tried to save it inbounds, but when it was whistled out of bounds, thrown back in, Craney, out of frustration, just punched the basketball with his hands up against the wall. That the referees maybe letting him get out a little bit of frustration. Let that go. Crusaders have the basketball. Working, kicking it back is Shepard to McCraney for 3. Off the mark, no good. Adrian Williams sneaks in amongst the trees, and he rips down the rebound and lays it back up and in. And just like that, Adrian Williams, after being shut out in the first half, has a half a dozen in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Crusaders up 21. Burris kicks it left wing, trying to find some room, and Pugh does find some room, and he scoops it up and in. A really nice drive into the paint and laying it up and in for Malik Pugh. 60-41. McCraney driving, gives it back to Douglas after he's double teamed. Kick it over to Williams. Williams going to take a baseline jumper. He has caught fire. Adrian Williams has 8, but quickly up the floor is Pugh, and he's fouled as the Crusaders got caught not getting back quick enough, and after Williams made the pass, the inbound pass off the make was all the way across half court, and Malik Pugh caught it in stride. Adrian Williams and Ryan McCraney got back. McCraney gets called for the foul, going to make Pugh earn it from the line, and actually it was a good foul because he misses the first. First substitutions of the second half for the Crusaders: Brandon Cranford, McDavid, and Rodney Mallett. So Rodney Mallett, Javante McDavid, and Brandon Cranford get their first action of the second half, and Pugh misses them both. So McCraney's foul was a great foul. Stop the lay-in. Oh, three-pointer, wide open. It's Brandon Cranford. When he's that wide open, you almost can put it on the board. Three-pointer from long range, and getting into the lane is Pugh. He lays it up and in. The Crusaders trade a 3-4 at 2, so their lead is back to just 22. After it had been extended to 24, that 24-point lead they had momentarily was their largest of the game. Cranford has had limited action because of a couple of early fouls. He's got it again from the coffin corner, and he knocks it down again. Brandon Cranford, 3 for 3 from 3, and he's got 9. Pugh up the floor, guarded by Mallett. He cuts off his penetration, so now he'll just stop and pop. That's nowhere near, and the rebound goes to Douglas, and the Crusaders are just about in the mauling stage of Dalton State right now. They really are. Driving it to the bucket is McDavid. His shot is blocked, and the ball goes into the hands of Pugh. Quickly up the floor, driving it, and there is a blocking foul. Boy, Cam Douglas did everything he could to slide in front of Sean Chisholm, but he was about a half a step too late and gets called for the block. That's his third foul, team third. Dobbs quickly coming in, and he will come in for Cam. So Cameron Douglas will be out of the game for the moment. Taking it out from underneath will be the Roadrunners. They are down 25 points in this one, though. Inbound, driving it into the lane, off the glass, too strong. The ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Dalton State basketball, and Coach Knight calls another timeout. So Coach Knight calling a timeout, still coaching hard. There's 13:01 left in this one, although the Crusaders are up 25 points. Dalton State will have the basketball when we come back on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
Dr. Bill Farmer of Hattiesburg GI Associates.
Another good thing about colon cancer screening is that most every insurance company will pay for a free screening colonoscopy at age 50.
Dr. Creed Fox.
So if you have insurance and you're over 50 and you've never had a colonoscopy done, it could be covered by your insurance at no cost to you.
A colonoscopy screening could save your life. Just make the call to Hattiesburg GI Associates and learn how easy a life-saving screening can be, and at no cost to you. HGIA on Weathersby Road. Call 601-261-5185.
13:01 left to go here. The Crusaders have never trailed. The score was tied once at 2-2. The Crusaders have been in control for much of this basketball game, and right now enjoying a 25-point lead, 68-43. But Dalton State does have the basketball. They'll take it out from under their own goal here. Coach Knight's called a couple of timeouts here in the second half. Carey looking for something. He's cut off. He gives it up. Shot no good. Elijah Staley can't get it to go, but somehow Dalton State gets the basketball back, and Raheem England's able to knock down the miss from Staley. It looked like the Crusaders had secured that rebound, but obviously not, as England was able to put it back up and in. 68-43 the score. Driving to the glass. Boy, it looks like he got fouled. No foul call, and Cranford shot off the glass, no good, as he was really bodied up well. Thought about the three. Now taking the three is England. That one's nowhere near, barely caught the rim, and the Crusaders have the rebound. Up the floor, gets it to Shepard. Shepard, though, has to save it. Back to McDavid for three. No good. Rebound fought for, and it pinballs around and goes into the hands of Dalton State's Carey. Carey going to take it up the floor, give it to Staley. Staley's fouled, and he makes the basket. So Staley will go to the line and get an and one out of the deal. McDavid's three-pointer was halfway in but hopped out, but it looked like Shepard was in perfect position to get the offensive board, but he could not secure it. It ended up in the hands of Dalton State, leading to a fast break opportunity that led to points. Free throw, no good. At least Staley wasn't able to complete the three-point play, and the lead stays at 21 for William Carey. We're at the 12-minute mark here, left to go in the basketball game. We will have a media timeout on the next stoppage of play. Mallett is going to get all the way to the basket as he kind of rolled around a pick and had a clear sailing to the basket. He was fouled on his way up, but really went through a big hole created by that pick set by Dobbs and ends up going to the free throw line, but that will be when we continue, because as noted just a few seconds before it happened, this is the first media timeout of the second half. 11:51 left to go in this one. Rodney Mallett will be shooting free throws for William Carey. They lead at 68-47.
Anderson Design Center's new kitchen and bath cabinet studio is now open. Introducing craft-made Vantage cabinets, a new standard of excellence now available at Anderson Design Center. Quality, craftsmanship, a variety of door style and color options, and innovative design techniques for optimal storage and organization. Cabinets that will last a lifetime. Visit our Facebook page for videos and visit our new craft-made Vantage Design Studio at Anderson Design Center, Hattiesburg.
The lead for the Crusaders at the half was 19. It is now 21, and both teams have almost had identical halves of basketball. Well, it is identical from the field. Both are 8 for 15 from the floor, shooting 53.3% in the second half. The only difference is the Crusaders have one more three-pointer. That's one of the 2-point difference of the second half, and one more free throw. In the second half, the Crusaders hitting all 4 of their free throws. Actually, Adrian Williams hitting all 4 of his free throws, and that was the only free throws the Crusaders had shot before Rodney Mallett knocks down that one. 69-47, Rodney Mallett, free throw on the way, and it rolls in. So Rodney Mallett hits a couple of free throws, He's now got 6 points, and the Crusaders have a 23-point lead. Up the floor, Pugh off the hands of English, but into the hands of Craney. Down low to Staley. That shot's no good, and there's a foul call. And check that. That was actually Aaron Burris. Burris, who was underneath in the paint, went up to the glass, got fouled. They call that on McDavid. Check that, Dobbs. I'm sorry. That was on Dobbs, his third. So Burris will shoot a couple of free throws for Dalton State. First one is good. For the game before that, Dalton State had been identical, 3 for 6 from the free throw line in both halves. So obviously 6 for 12 in the game. But he makes both of those, does Burris. So they finally climbed over that 50-50 mark with those two. 70-49 the score. Crusaders up 21. They handle the pressure there. McGee has it, gives it back to Mallett. They'll start the offense in the front court. 70-49. Crusaders, right wing. McDavid, three-pointer on the way, no good, and the rebound goes to England for Dalton State. Craney up the floor, still looking for his first field goal of the game. Three-pointer, though, on the way from Frazier. That lefty stroke is pure. 70-52 after the three-pointer goes down. Kingston Frazier now 3 for 4 from the floor, 2 for 3 from three-point land for 8 points for Dalton State. Substitution, Adrian Williams checks into the game for William Carey. Up the floor, Mallett stopped at the half-court line, gives it to McGee. McGee's going to give it back to Adrian Williams. Marquez McGee has had a productive game off the bench for the Crusaders. A really productive first half. Three-pointer on the way for Cranford. Can't get it to go down. His first miss from three-point range. He was 3 for 3. And another foul on Jartavius Dobbs. That's his fourth. So Cam Douglas set to check in. Coach Knight couldn't get him in quick enough. So Dobbs is still out there with 4 fouls. He better be careful, and there's a foul against Dobbs. That's his 5th. He is out of the basketball game. Jartavius Dobbs just fouled out of this game, and a basket goes for Dalton State. Randy Bell gets the bucket, and a free throw coming. And again, it's still a 16-point game, but folks, it was 25 just a moment ago. Dalton State is on quite the run here, and they have a chance to, I believe it's 14-4 to be exact, would be the run if this free throw goes down, and it would slice a 25-point lead down to 15. Free throw on the way and no good. So it stays at 16. Crusaders still with a comfortable lead, but getting a little tighter here, 70-54. Douglas, who had to check in thanks to the foul out by Jartavius Dobbs, as he's done for the afternoon. Baseline jumper from Cam, couldn't get it to go, but the rebound chased down by Adrian Williams. Williams having a great second half for sure. He had a good first half, but 8 points in the second half after being shut out in the first 20 minutes of play. Douglas back to Mallett. 15 still on the shot clock. Kick it to, a long-range shot by Cranford off the left wing. Won't go. That was about a 24-footer off the mark. And here comes Dalton State, and this one is a charge. And Cam is on the ground. Hang on. Cam Douglas is on the floor. They're going to need some assistance. He took the charge, but he hit head first. That's all the Crusaders need, is another injured player. The foul was on Aaron Burris. That's his third, but Cam is still down. He's now rolling and getting to his feet, but he's going to have to come out of the basketball game. So Jartavius Dobbs is fouled out. Remember, the Crusaders were without Lito Holloway at least until the conference tournament because of a broken hand. He's out. Douglas has got a cut lip on top of that banging of the head, so he's having to tend to that a little bit. And that was a really nice move that for the folks not watching on the video stream for the William Carey broadcast, Elijah Staley ran over to him and actually tapped Cam Douglas and just a sportsmanlike man-to-man thing, saying, hey, man, obviously no one meant to do that. Sorry that was such a hard foul. On the offensive end, the Crusaders nearly turn it over, and the ball goes out of the hands of Shepard into the hands of Slim, and a basket for Marquez McGee. And at the other end, a massive block, but they're going to call a foul. Who is the foul on? Slim is smiling. Who was the foul on? They're going to call it on Cranford. Brandon Cranford, as the referee had kind of gotten right in my line of vision there, as it was a big block there by, I believe it was Slim who got the block, but they say Cranford hit him with the body. So Elijah Staley at the line shooting 2. First one on the way and good. 72-55 now the score. Dalen Dotson will check in for Rodney Mallett, and Ryan McCraney will check back in for Brandon Cranford. So 9:26 left, 72-55 the score. Staley's second free throw is perfect. Boy, he scored. You look at the stat sheet, he shoots over 50% from the field, nearly 80% from the line. That's why he's leading this team in scoring. When he shoots, he doesn't miss very much. Strokes those 2 free throws, gets it back to 16 for Dalton State. That's as close as they've been in the second half, and they've needed a nice little run to get there after being down by 25. Dotson gives it up, shot on the way from Slim, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound goes to Dalton at the other end. Oh, it looked like a travel, no call, but the miss off the right hand of Randy Bell, and Slim rips down the rebound. So at the other end, Dalen Dotson comes down. Slim getting a whole lot of minutes here because Jartavius Dobbs, number 1, is out of the basketball game because he's already fouled out, and because he has played so well when he's been out there. He's got 6 points and a whole bunch of other stuff in the stat line. It's Slim going to the bucket, and he couldn't get it to go. What a great post move, and just did everything but make the basket. Oh, man, that was one of the best post moves we've seen Marquez McGee make all season. He scooped it up on the rim, but it just hopped out, and at the other end, Dalton State was able to create a transition opportunity out of the deal, and they get to go to the line to shoot 2. Adrian Williams called for his second foul. Free throw, though, missed by Malik Pugh. Malik Pugh has had his troubles at the line. He's missed all 3 he's taken in the second half, and he makes that one. He's 1 for 4. And now, again, it's still a 15-point lead. Let's don't get too nervous, but it is as close as Dalton State has been in the second half, and Brandon Shepard just double-dribbled. So Brandon Shepard just turned the basketball over, and now all of a sudden, Dalton State has a chance to inch a little closer. This 15-point lead the Crusaders have had, that's actually the lowest lead they've had in the second half. In the lane, shot blocked once, but it goes back into the hands of Dalton State. Second chance, no good. Back into the hands of Dalton State. Third chance, no good, but going to the line is Burris. Aaron Burris got 2 offensive rebounds out of that possession, and he gets free throws when it's all said and done. That is the 10th team foul against William Carey. All of them have been shooting fouls lately. The foul was on McGee, that's his first. The free throw is good. So the 7th, 8th, and 9th fouls against the Crusaders were all shooting fouls, basically. So no 1-and-1 opportunities. Dalton State's basically just went all the way into the double bonus, essentially, and that free throw is good. So from here moving forward, Dalton State is going to shoot 2 free throws on every foul. There's a foul, a little touch foul against Malik Pugh. Pugh has his mouth wide open going, what? And, I got to agree with him. I think the referee might have saw something that wasn't there. That's his 3rd foul. That's the 16th foul, though, against Dalton State. That's important because now, moving forward, the Crusaders will finally get to go to the line as well. I say finally. I mean, there's still 7:50 left to go, but the Dalton State Roadrunners have had a lot more fouls called for them than against them. Adrian Williams has done it again. Right down the left elbow, down to the block. He gets fouled and makes the bucket. a chance at an and one. Adrian Williams, who was shut out in the first half of the scoring column, is now in double digits in the second half. Free throw on the way, and it curls in. Used every bit of the rim, but it goes down, and a three-point play, and the old-school style three-point play kind of thwarts the momentum of Dalton State, who had pulled to within 13 just a moment ago. 75-59 now, William Carey. Burris gives it up. They're going to drive. Oh, and trying to dunk it home was Randy Bell, but they get a foul call against William Carey again. The Crusaders are piling up fouls in mountainous numbers here. Already one Crusader is fouled out. Dalton State has been in the double bonus now since beyond the 8-minute mark left to go in the game. 2 more free throws coming. Randy Bell with a chance to put a couple of points on the board without the clock moving, but he misses the first. Dalton State, they may end up shooting 25 to 30 free throws before this is all said and done. Second free throw is good. 1 for 2 from the line. 15-point lead now for William Carey. Press being employed by Dalton State. Ryan McCraney gets it up the floor. Tried to get it to Dalen Dotson, but Randy Bell got a finger on it and knocked out of bounds right in front of the William Carey bench. It'll stay Crusader basketball. Shepard will take it inbounds. He gives it to Dalen Dotson. 7:17 left to go in this one. The Crusaders trying to put this one away. They're up 15. Looking for their 9th win in 10 tries in conference play. Dotson kicks it right wing to Williams. Williams going to drive, gets it down low to McGee, and Marquez McGee gets another bucket. He's got 8 points as he approaches a double-digit night for William Carey, his best game of the year by a mile. And down low comes Dalton State. Double team down there, trying to get it in the middle. Ball on the floor. Staley still has it. He tried to dunk it. It won't go. Randy Bell has it behind the back to Staley. He's fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2 more free throws. The Crusaders, I tell you, you got to give Dalton State a lot of credit here. Down 17 points. They are giving maximum effort on the offensive end and on the offensive glass especially. They have single-handedly just willed their way to the free throw line on the last couple of possessions. The Crusaders have forced misses, but second and third chance opportunities have led to free throws for Dalton State. 77-60 the score. 2 free throws coming for Staley. He'll make them both. I mean, he made the first one, but this kid doesn't miss. He is some kind of player for the Roadrunners, and he strokes his free throws and doesn't miss much from the field either. Staley's second free throw is off the mark, no good. He nearly got his own rebound. The ball on the floor, though. McGee ends up coming up with it. Here comes Dotson up the floor. He's going to challenge and not get the basket to go. He took it right to Craney. Craney, though, ends up winning the battle, and at the other end, Ryan McCraney gets another foul call against the Crusaders, and here comes more free throws for Dalton State. If I'm not mistaken, again, I don't have it officially in front of me, I believe this is the 5th consecutive possession that the Dalton State Roadrunners have went to the free throw line. 5 straight times, once they've gotten the ball in the front court, they've ended up shooting free throws. 6:30 left to go, a 16-point lead for the moment. Pugh's free throw is off the mark. So Malik Pugh, who has gotten to the free throw line, this will be his 6th free throw of the half, but so far he's only been able to make 1. Second free throw is good. He's 2 for 6 in the second half. 15-point lead, though. Dotson up the floor, gives it to Cranford, who's got a wide open look at a 3, and you know what that means. Brandon Cranford, when he's left open, he just doesn't miss. 4th three-pointer of the ball game. He's got a dozen. He's the leading scorer for the William Carey Crusaders, coming in averaging just over 12 points a game. He's at that mark, and with 6:19 to go, the ball got poked out of bounds after the make, and it was over toward the door that leads to the annex here, so they had to go track it down. That was the delay, but an 18-point lead for the Crusaders. 15-foot jumper hits the rim 4 times, but Burris with the shooter's touch. Excuse me, that was Chisholm. Chisholm with the shooter's touch. And there's Cranford, 4-3. Brandon Cranford! Somebody better cover him. His 5th three-pointer of the day, 15 for Cranford, and the Crusaders, just like that, are back up 19. In the lane, it's a charge. Adrian Williams gets the charge call against Dalton State's Aaron Burris. And a timeout on the floor. The Crusaders threatening to go to triple digits here at the Clinton Gymnasium as the offense has been firing on all cylinders today. That foul against Burris was his 4th, and the Crusaders will have the basketball and a 19-point lead when we come back. 5:46 left from the Clinton Gymnasium. We'll take a 30-second break on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com.
Are you looking for a great deal today on speakers, power tools, amps, guitars, lawn gear, or jewelry? Well, Discount Pawn and Pedal has all of that and much more. Discount Pawn and Pedal carries a wide variety of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. And you won't find a more unique collection of pre-owned items anywhere. Come see for yourself at Discount Pawn, located at 1007 South Main Street in Pedal. We have it at Discount Pawn.
William Carey leads at 83-64. 5:46 remaining, trying to go 9-1 in conference and assure themselves at least a couple of more days to be in first place by themselves as they came in with a 1-game lead over Stillman. William Carey just one make short of shooting 50% in the second half as they're 13 of 27. But the Crusaders shooting 53.6% from the floor, 47.4 from three-point range, and Brandon Cranford 5 for 7 from downtown. He leads William Carey with 15 points. He's only played 9 minutes of basketball. 15 points in 9 minutes, that's production. Crusaders have the ball, front court. Cam Douglas back in the game after the timeout. Douglas will dribble, get it to Cam. Got a good look at a 3, passes it up, gives it back to Cranford. Cranford going to drive, kick it to Adrian Williams with 6. Williams cut off, now to Cranford. He's in trouble in the corner with 3. He kicks it back out to Douglas, and it's out of bounds, and it'll be Dalton State basketball. Very good defense by the Roadrunners on that possession. Crusaders moved the ball well, tried a whole bunch of different things, and never even got one shot attempt up in that 30 seconds. But 5:10 left to go. Crusaders up 19. Drives the baseline. Oh, missing the easy shot right there was Bell, but able to get the rebound was Chisholm. Chisholm back underneath, up and in on another second chance opportunity. This time Aaron Burris off the assist from Chisholm, and it's a 3-pointer on the way. Brandon Cranford does it again. Brandon Cranford with 18. 3-pointer from Bell won't go. Long rebound goes to Craney. We get a timeout call. Hold on. Sean Chisholm. Trying to see what happened. There's no foul call. It was actually a stoppage of play by the official. Chisholm Chisholm had slipped to the floor, and they're saying they're holding everything because there's some moisture on the floor. So Crusaders grounds crew basically out there wiping things up. 4:39 to go, but after the Crusaders had given up the bucket down low, Brandon Cranford does it again. He is 6 for 8 from downtown. He has absolutely been blazing from behind the arc on both Thursday and Saturday. Oh, and the Crusaders just made a mistake on defense. 2 defenders went away from Sean Chisholm, and both Crusader defenders switched. And so Chisholm went, oh, nobody's guarding me. I'll just take this and dunk it. So an easy bucket off a little bit of a foul up by the Crusaders on defense, and it's 86-68. 4:15 left to go. Crusaders up 18. Dotson in the corner to Cranford. Fakes the three. Now he'll give it up. Spinning, shooting, and almost scoring is Brandon Shepard, but he will go to the line to shoot 2 as he was fouled. Brandon Shepard's got 14 points in the basketball game. He's approaching another double-double as he averages a double-double. Needs at least one more rebound. I believe we've got him at 9. Free throw on the way and hits the front of the rim hard, but hard enough where it hops over and in. 87-68. Trying to get it back to a 20-point spread. Free throw on the way and good. So Shep's got 16, a very productive night for the senior leader for the Crusaders, and William Carey looks like they are 4 minutes away from putting up win number 9 in conference. Dalton State really, well, they've never led in the basketball game, and the Crusaders have had a big lead almost throughout since about the 10-12 minute mark of the first half. We haven't seen the game back to single digits. Bucket there by Staley at the underneath the glass for Dalton State. 88-70 now the score. Good assist. Wow, Dalen Dotson, a nifty drop to Brandon Shepard, who flushes it home. He's got 18, and it's back to 20. 90-70, really the only drama left in this one is, will the Crusaders get to triple digits? William Carey has been as efficient offensively as they have all season long, and Carey just is about to leave the hub city with a big donut in the field goal column. The leading assist man in the conference, Sean Carey for Dalton State. He's out of Wollongong, Australia, but he came in averaging 13 points per game along with leading the league in assists. He has not hit a field goal all day long. And if it wasn't for a very questionable foul on a three-point attempt, he would be scoreless. Another beautiful move. I tell you, Elijah Staley is one heck of a basketball player. But he can't do it all by himself. Dalton State gets the bucket after taking it inbounds. New Crusaders in now. Khalil Jordan, his first action of the basketball game. Javante McDavid checked in at the last break as well. Rodney Mallett is out there. McDavid with 4 on the shot clock, going to take a 17-foot jumper, rolls around, won't go down, and the rebound goes to Dalton State. Quickly up the floor come the Road Runners. Nifty little bit of dribbling, gives it to Elijah Staley, and he scoops it up. He was in terrible position underneath the basket, somehow did a 360 and scooped it up on the reverse side and laid it in. He is having a spectacular basketball game, but it still is a 16-point lead for the Crusaders. Rodney Mallett dishing it down low to McGee. McGee's in double digits with 10, and it's 92-74. Randy Bell up the floor, gives it to Chisholm. Things slowing down finally a little bit here with 2 minutes left to go. Three-pointer on the way from Pugh. It knocks it down. 1:48 to go. Timeout called. Timeout called by Coach Knight. Coach Knight actually just wants to continue playing. He wants to make a substitution. He gets in Julius Buckhalter. So Buckhalter checks in. So every Crusader in uniform now has gotten in the basketball game. Buckhalter's had some limited minutes early on in the season. Trying to throw it in. They just get it into McDavid. McDavid gets it up the floor to Mallett. Mallett going to take that jumper with a hand in his face and knock it down. 94-77. Time running low. A long court-length pass to Staley, and Staley lays it in as he continues his good night. Foul in the backcourt, and we'll walk it to the other end. That's the 10th team foul against Dalton State, so 2 free throws coming for Rodney Mallett. A chance for Mallett to get into double digits as the Crusaders with 94 points. Again, the only drama I think left in this one with a 15-point lead for the Crusaders is, will they get to 100? Mallett's free throw on the way and good. So 95-79. Crusaders, again, truthfully, this is not just being in the moment. Free throw up and good. This is the Crusaders' best offensive performance of the year from start to finish for sure. I mean, they have just looked so fluid and smooth on the offensive end. 96-79, three-pointer on the way for Dalton State. nothing but air. But guess who's there to get the rebound? It's Staley, and he gets fouled, going to the line to shoot two to just continue his monstrous day is Elijah Staley. Let's see, Staley, we've got him. First free throw on the way, and it's not the front of the rim, but it goes down. I believe that's 8 for 10 from the line for Staley. Second free throw on the way, and it's good. Staley having a huge day for Dalton State, but it's going to be in a losing effort. 15-point lead for the Crusaders, 1:10 to go. Khalil Jordan has it, gives it back to Buckhalter, gives it back to Mallett. You know the Crusaders would love to get either Buckhalter or Khalil Jordan a point inside of a minute as they're letting this clock run down. Driving it to the lane is Buckhalter. Shot on the glass. Oh, it just won't go. Rebound fought for by McGee. He can't come up with it. And now here comes Dalton State on a break opportunity, laying it up and in his pew. 46.4 to go, 96-81. Rodney Mallett, though, will walk it up the floor. Boy, Julius Buckhalter had it on the rim, but it just didn't go down. So it doesn't look like the Crusaders are going to get to 100. Going to fall just short. 17 seconds on the shot clock, 31 on the game clock, and Mallett, Dalton State has kind of called off the Dogs as far as fouling is concerned. And now here comes Mallett. He'll roll, give it to Khalil Jordan. Jordan going to dunk it home. Khalil Jordan with a fancy bucket right there. Quickly up the floor, knocked away by McGee to Pugh, up on the glass, and no good. Rebound Elijah Staley. He knocks it in again with 9.4 to go. So McDavid has it, and unless Dalton State chooses to foul, the Crusaders are going to come up just short of 100. The final score as the horn sounds, William Carey wins it 98-85. Elijah Staley getting an extra long handshake, actually, from the Hall of Famer Steve Knight, as even he appreciates, boy, the talent of Elijah Staley was on full display here, but the William Carey Crusader team effort was just too much as they overwhelmed the Roadrunners, got up by double digits fairly early in the first half, and they never looked back. The Crusaders led the entire way, except if you want to count 2-2. There was one tie in the basketball game after both teams exchanged, baskets on the first possessions of the game. But after that, William Carey took the lead and never looked back as they cruise to an easy victory here at the Clinton Gymnasium. And it's a 9-1 start to the conference season for William Carey, as they no less than will stay atop by one game at least in the conference, as William Carey wins it over Dalton State. And really, these Dalton State-William Carey games are usually a whole lot closer than this, but not tonight. William Carey wins it by 13, 98-85. When we come back, we'll start the Warren & Warren Asphalt postgame show. We'll give you the postgame statistics, and be sure to stick with us here on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com, as we'll have the post-game interview with Coach Steve Knight in the Nightlight segment. We'll get the thoughts of Coach Knight. I gotta feel like he is going to be well pleased with the offensive effort by the Crusaders here tonight. Again, I think it's one of the best offensive efforts they have put together it is. It's simply put, I'll go ahead and say it. It's the best offensive effort the Crusaders have put together for all 40 minutes of basketball. That's about as well as this Crusader offense can perform, and in the end, it produces a 98-85 victory. Back after this 60-second word from Larry Warren, and we'll start the Warren & Warren Asphalt postgame show.
6:30, right? My name's Larry Warren, Warren & Warren Asphalt Paving.
Larry, we've seen new asphalt companies coming into the area. What's the difference between them and what Warren & Warren offers?
Well, first of all, Warren & Warren will be here with you now and after the job is done. These other people, you don't know where their home office is. They're from out of town. Do they have a tax ID number? Do they pay taxes in the state of Mississippi? That's the biggest problem. Do they have anything with the Better Business Bureau? You look into it a little farther, you may find out that they're not even listed with the Better Business Bureau. Everybody is different. If a person beats us on a bid most of the time is because you're not comparing apples to apples. They're not doing the exact same thing that we're doing, and we stand behind our work, and we're going to be here. And we do all kinds of work, anything from a patch job to $1 million job. It doesn't make any difference. People can call me at any time. They can call my telephone number, 601-270-4637, or my office number, 601-736-1203. We still do not do highway work, and never will.
Back at the Clinton Gymnasium, where actually the crowd for the William Carey folks are filing out, but the crowd for the next couple of games, as there's actually a couple of high school basketball games here at William Carey. It'll be PCS taking on Sacred Heart. So if you're one of those folks who, boy, I wish I had this life, but if you are got the life where you can just kind of chill out and go watch a little bit of basketball, the William Carey men have won here against Dalton State, but there's 2 more basketball games still to be played here at the Clinton Gymnasium, with PCS taking on Sacred Heart in girls and boys varsity action. When you look at the stat sheet here on the Warren & Warren Asphalt postgame show, I think it's a simple word, but it gets the point across. Wow. I mean, there is a lot of wow factor to this stat sheet for William Carey. Overall, the Crusaders shoot 55.6% from the field for the game. They shoot over 50% in both halves. They shoot 50% from three-point range in the basketball game, going 10 of 20. Yeah, it's one thing to shoot 50% if you go 1 for 2. How about 10 three-pointers for William Carey? 10 for 20 overall, with 6 of those being made by the team's leading scorer, Brandon Cranford. And from the free throw line, near perfection. 18 for 19 from the free throw line. 94.7% when it's all said and done. 5 Crusaders made it to double digits. 3 others were within a basket of making it to double digits. It was a team effort, to say the least, as the shots kept going in and kept going in and kept going in. Brandon Shepard, 18 points to go along with 8 rebounds, a couple of assists, a couple of blocks, and 3 steals